Okay, guys, here we are. We're going to go over how I tested these caps and line arms. I tried to make it as equal as possible across the board with all three of them. I run the same mash with all of them. The mash bill, it was a corn liquor mash with corn and corn malt, sugar. Gravity started at 1.05. The gravity ended at 0.99 on all of them. It was all a 50-gallon mash that I run with each cap. On the same pot, I run a 100-gallon pot with a 20-gallon thumper. But we're going to go over the results that I got, and you're going to be surprised at it. So the first cap that we're going to go over is one that I really don't like, which is this cap. I hope y'all can see that good. When this thing's on the steel, it's sitting level. And then your line arm comes out and goes straight down to the steel. There's many different styles of this. You know, some of them you see just come straight out and down to your thumper. This one kind of arches, which it's just off a piece of rolled pipe is what it is, but it kind of follows the cape, and it looks good, but I'm more function over form. This cap I do not like. And how I tested these caps was the amount of water I ended up in my thumper after each run. If you're running a smaller thumper, like a gallon or 2-gallon thumper with like this cap, you're going to get a lot of water build up inside of your thumper, and then you're just going to be distilling the water back into your distillate. I found that this cap, it started running on the run at about 135 to 140. It finished the run in the tails at around 90. It just wasn't a smooth liquor out of this cap, and after 50 gallons of mash, I ended up with almost 5 gallons of liquid in my thumper. I started out with my thumper dry on each run. I ran a dry thumper. So, I mean, it had a lot of water, because we're going to go over that when I show you the cap that I like the most and why I like it. But we're going to go over why you get so much water vapor in your thumper. The second cap that I run the same way on a 50-gallon mash, 20-gallon thumper, just like I did that one, same condenser, everything, which is this style, which is the most popular style. This is an old cap. This thing been made for quite a few years. This is the style that most people get on their new copper pot stills. I had to modify this one to be able to run the 50 gallons of mash, because most of these, if you get a 10 or a 20-gallon steel, this is 3/4. It comes down to 1/2 inch, and then it goes to a 3/8 line. Well, I had to take the 3/8 off of it. I was building too much back pressure in my steel, and it was hard for me to seal the cap with my paste. I just couldn't paste my cap. Now, I know most of you now, most steels are made with tri-clamps, which is fine, but you'll get the same results as I did with this one. What happens, guys, is you start bulling and your vapor is going into the line arm. But on this style cap right here, you have a choke down point. It's going to cause more back pressure into your steel. And that water vapor, that water droplet is attached to your alcohol vapor. But when it gets here, that water droplet's going to want to fall off, and it's going to stay here, and that pressure is going to push it on through your line arm into your thumper. With this cap, I still had 3.5 gallons of liquid out of a 50-gallon run in my thumper. My thumper was bulling the liquid, the water vapor in my thumper. I didn't want that, because that's just bulling it back into your distillate. You're getting all that bad stuff back in there. You end up with off flavors. You end up with not a real good run. A lot of time your proof will drop off a lot faster that way. If you're bulling that water vapor out of your thumper, it's going to drop your proof faster throughout the run. This cap started off right at about 150. It started off good, but as I said, as that water vapor kept building up here, it couldn't go back, because that's on a level. It can't go back. It's not angled. So it can't go back, so the pressure pushed the water vapor through my line arm into my thumper. After about half the run, my thumper was bulling water vapor and the stuff that come out that I didn't want in my thumper, and as it was bulling out, that vapor was mixing with my alcohol vapor, and I ended up dropping very quickly throughout my run. It went from like 120 to 100 down to 90 pretty quick. That's what you're going to find with a whole lot of water vapor going into your thumper. Like I said, this is the most popular design. Just a piece of pipe coming out. It's just two pieces of pipe. It's really not designed. It's just a piece of pipe putting a piece of copper in my book. Now, I don't want to cause any hate or anything against anybody, but this style is what's most widely used. And I always run my thumper empty. And that's how, that's how I measured these. So this is my second least favorite design. It'll work. You can make alcohol, but I'm function over form. I'm not into, aesthetics, 15 thermometers and sight glasses and all that stuff, because the way outside of a still looks, you need to look at how the inside's going to work. It don't matter how many gadgets and gadgets and all that stuff you have with this cap, it's still going to work the same. The cap and the line arm is the most important part of your steel. Now, all three of these caps fit my steel. This one right here, it still puts out too much water vapor for me. I hope y'all understand that about boiling the water vapor in your thumper, and that water vapor is going to attach itself right back to the alcohol vapor, and it's going to go right out into your distillate. And that's why your run a lot of times will drop real fast throughout the run. This one here, as you can see, when that water droplet's attached to your alcohol vapor, it's just got a straight shot to the thumper. So it's just going to fill up your thumper. These are not, I wouldn't run one of these on jar rig if I had to. You're just going to fill your jar up 4 or 5 times throughout the run. This one right here is going to fill a jar up pretty quick too. But they do make alcohol. But the cost of each one of these are very similar. The last cap that I'm going to show you guys is a traditional style cap, the one that I love to run. I'm going to show you why and tell you why. Now, this cap fits the same steel. As you can see, this cap here, it's a lot bigger cap. It's a tapered design. It goes inside where these two slide over a collar. As you can see the line right here where I've run it, this one goes inside of the collar. You use less pace, you have less leaks. What sets this cap apart? Now, you see a lot of caps made like this, but the design's off, is where this is all round, cylindrical, and it comes out through here like this and tapers down. That's not doing you anything. You're still pushing, the water vapor is still at a tapered angle down when it gets to your 90, and it's just dropping into your thumper. The way these are made, I watched the man make this one. He puts a level right here. The top of your line arm is level. And then you have a taper that tapers back to your cap. And what happens on these is your alcohol vapor that has the water droplet attached to it comes up your line arm right here. And when it gets right here at this choke point, that water vapor has nowhere to go. It's just like the other two. It's going to drop. But instead of staying here waiting on the pressure to push it to your thumper, that water vapor is going to fall back, down, and back into your steel. It's almost like a reflux. Basically, it is one. With this cap, when I got done running the 50 gallons of mash, same mash for that, I had less than a pint of water vapor in my thumper. So I was getting more pure alcohol vapor throughout into my distillate. This cap started at about 160 proof. It stayed at around 125 to 120 throughout the entire hearts of the run. It didn't drop off like the other two did. With this one, my run was six gallons, 1 quart. So 6¼ gallons. With this one, my run was only 5 gallons. With the first one, my run was 4.5 gallons. This one here, I tempered the alcohol. With my well water here, I tempered it and ended up with 7.5 gallons after tempering. Because after I mixed everything together, this liquor was still at 122 proof. Where the other two, the liquor tempered itself, so I didn't get no more. And I think tempering your liquor with good water, good spring water, good well water, that's where you get a lot of your smoothness from. It tempers it down. It takes the temperament out of it. But this cap right here, to me, is the best cap on the market. I'm going to tell you who these guys are. They do make stills. You've probably seen this cap before if you'll watch an episode of Moonshiner's Master Distiller or the Moonshiners TV show. You'll see these cap and their stills on those shows. Man, the quality is just so much better. The workmanship so much better. The line arm is all hand rolled. And if you can see, look, it's soldered. The solder joints are great. I mean, it's just the best craftsmanship I've seen. You get thick gauge copper, and this don't cost hardly much more than those other two do. I'm not here to promote anybody. I'm just here telling you what I've found. As you can tell, I've used these caps. But this one right here, if you're getting into this craft, or if you have an existing steel and you want to convert it over to this style of cap, they could do it. If you have a tri-clamp connection at your cap, the easiest way to do it is just tell them the dimensions of your tri-clamp, and they can build you one. They could even convert it over to your existing thumper. But the thing about this is, most of these, your line arm goes out to either a 1/2 inch or a 3/8 or something like that going into your thumper. Well, on these, even on the 10 and 20 gallon steels, you've got a 1-inch union with a 1-inch pipe going into your thumper. So you have 1 inch all the way in. And what that does, it relieves back pressure in your steel, which means less leaks, which means less water vapor into your thumper because it's not pushing as hard. It's not pushing the water vapor over. Whereas with like this style cap, you have a choke point here, which builds pressure into your steel. And it's harder to stop the leaks, and that more pressure is going to push more water vapor into your thumper. I hope I'm saying this. This right here is just my observation, guys. You know, I'm just old hillbilly, and I just say it the way I see it. But yeah, but these guys here make the best that there is. I want to share it with y'all because I want y'all to have good success in this and start out on the right foot. So if you're looking for a new cap for an existing steel, hey, these guys even have these style caps for keg steels. If you got a keg steel, they've got them. Probably got a couple in stock. If you want something a little more elaborate, something that does the job just as good, if not better, they do have the patterns for Popcorn Sutton's cap. And they can build you a Popcorn Sutton cap to put on your steel. But this is what I want to tell y'all. The cap and the line arm is the most important part of your steel. No other part on that steel is more important than this right here. This right here, anybody can throw a piece of pipe and some copper and call it that. But making something look pretty, making it eye candy, polishing it up, and putting thermometers and sight glasses still don't change the function of your cap and line arm, the most important part of your steel. Your pot could look any way it wants to. It can be square, it can be beat up, it can be dirty. It don't matter. It's still going to serve its purpose as long as it don't leak. Your thumper could be anything from mine's an old copper steel pot I had laying around. It could be a wooden barrel. It could be a stainless steel bucket. It don't matter. But this is where the magic happens, is in your cap and line arm. And you can see the difference in those two. There's a big difference, a giant difference, guys. And they don't, I think the cost may be $25, $30 difference from where you're going to get that one at. But these guys are awesome. But this is the most important part of your steel, is your cap and line arm. Give these guys a call. It's Thunder Road Copper. Kevin and them guys are great people, great customer service. It's just the way to go. This is more traditional, but this is more of a moonshine steel. I hope y'all give him a call. Check him out. He's on Facebook. I will leave a picture of his contact information at the end of this video. But if you guys want a great quality piece that's going to work proper, like we're supposed to be doing, instead of just throwing some stuff together and making it pretty, I want you guys to get into function, not form. And this right here is function. All right, guys, there you have it. That was my test I done on 3 of the most popular cap designs and line arm designs out there. Like I said, this one right here, the Thunder Road Copper cap, is just superior to any other cap out there. Come back next week, guys. We're gonna be planting our Hickory King white corn. I'm gonna go over seed spacing and row spacing and how you get the best yield out of your hickory king corn or any corn. That way you could sustain your corn supply throughout the summertime, and you're not spending a whole lot of money, because I know it's like $40, $50 a bag, and then you got to pay $50, $60 shipping. I paid like $4.99 for this pound of corn seed, and we're going to be growing 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of corn with it. So y'all come back in here. We're going to go over tomatoes, like on my tomato brandies, the varieties that I plant, why I plant them. Just 4 brandies. We're going to be doing a squash brandy this year. What kind of squash, and why I like to cross-pollinate squash for brandy. We're going to go over that too, guys. But I'm going to drop Thunder Road Copper's contact information here at the end of the video. With that said, I've got to get back to Miss Real Deal. She had hip replacement surgery Wednesday. So I'm going to go make her get up and walk a little bit and deal with that. So we love y'all. Y'all watch your top knot. We'll see you soon.